Alright everybody, welcome back. I'm still Matt, and we're still playing Perfect Dark, so let's get back to it. We're actually inside the G5 building, and there are 5 objectives, but the main gist of it is we have to record the bad guys having their bad guy meeting, and we need to recover Dr. Carroll's lost personality. It brings up questions of mortality and identity and things like that. But first we're going to shoot somebody in the back. Now in the car park here, all of the guards are equipped with cloaking devices, and you might think they make you truly invisible, but hopefully you'll be able to see that that's not quite the case. You can still see light reflecting off of them, sort of like a mirror, and if you're actually looking for them, you can find them, and once they begin shooting like that, they become visible. Now in every room, the last guard that dies will drop a key card, and that will let you progress to the next room. I'm going to try to shoot this guy in the head, and I'm going to fail miserably. And I'm just going to shoot him in the back using auto-aim. Sorry, Todd. Now right here, there's a trick that you can use. It's actually helpful if you're going for the speed run, is to shoot in a straight line, and usually, I don't want to say usually, many times you can kill everyone in one stream of bullets, but that didn't happen there. But we made quick work of them anyway. As you can see, this is a stealthy mission, so we are using a silencer this time, and I'm quite pleased with that. This is actually one of my favorite missions, even though it is rather short. And I did fail it several times while trying to record here. Now in every room where there's an alarm, at least one guard, actually only one guard, is always in alarm activating mode. He will ignore you and run toward the alarm, making it easier for you to kill. So right here we're disabling some laser grids, and we'll get to that later. I'll show you why that was important, but first we're going to go through the wrong door, and we're going to go back in shame. And right here we're on our way to disable a damping field generator. A damping field essentially prevents any outgoing transmissions from taking place. And I always thought this didn't make any sense, because I thought all we were doing was, recording the meeting taking place. But as it turns out, at the end of the mission, we're going to remotely send the data to the Carrington Institute. So it does make sense that we need to disable the damping field, because we're going to leave our camera inside the meeting room. I guess I should probably begin to explain this now. There's a sort of a bug in the game that you're supposed to use in order to either complete the mission within the target time or make it slightly more easy on you. What you need to do is we're going to set up our cam spy just outside the room where the meeting takes place. And because essentially once you enter the room with your cam spy, the cutscene is triggered. And what we're going to do is, while we're decoding the safe in which Dr. Carroll's personality is located, which takes about 55 seconds, we're going to trigger the cutscene. And we'll get to that later, and you'll see why it's helpful, because while we're decoding the door, we're usually flooded with a horde of enemies, but doing this trick allows you to bypass that for the most part. As you remember, in the previous mission we planted a remote mine on one of the blocked up doors, and that's going to be in this area. Right now we're just clearing the way to make our exit a little more easy, but as you'll see, that's not going to quite be the case. Yes, so Datadyne has taken Dr. Carroll hostage and rewired his personality, but they've kept a backup of his kinder, gentler, more Carrington Institute loving personality in a safe. I'm not quite sure why they did that, but they did it, so we're going to take advantage of that so we can get Dr. Carroll back on our side. So we're going to head back into the safe room, and we're going to plant our door decoder, and once the timer begins, we're going to select the cam spy and trigger the cutscene. And this is kind of ironic because
Intruder alert! All
During the mission, any sort of alarm like this will cause you to fail, and the meeting will not take place, but it is just a cutscene, so it is a bug.
Its efficiency. My team will have to take it to the core themselves. This will endanger them. You should have anticipated that the Sapient might develop a troublesome moral code.
No one could have predicted that.
Does that sound match what she just did to the table?
What about him?
Sounded like she was clapping. That's Trent Easton, the leader of the NSA.
Turn down the request for the loan of the Pelagic 2. Could it be you overestimated your influence over him?
No. Perhaps I underestimated his resolve. We have a contingency plan ready to go, and we will move as soon as the presidential entourage arrives at the airbase.
Okay, now the door decoder has finished and the safe is unlocked. At this point, I would normally just skip the cutscene, but I'm going to show the rest of it to you.
If Carrington has pieced together enough of this, he will have called for reinforcements.
There will be no outside help from Mr. Carrington. The technology you gave us is installed in Nevada and fully operational. We can intercept any craft they use.
Then the devices we gave you are working correctly. Good, because we believe anything which does not work correctly should be destroyed. Consider that as you follow your backup plans.
I like that. That sounds evil. Normally, like I said, what would happen is while the door is being decoded, we're hit with a wave of enemies. Usually, using this bug allows you to skip that, but as you can see here, I may have let the cutscene run a little too long because, holy crap, look at this. But we're using circle strafing and hiding behind doors. And yes, we are a tricky one. At this point I'm just deciding, let's just get out of here because our blown up door is on the same level, and look at this. I'm going to head down the stairs, add a superfluous spin, and talk to Daniel Carrington.
Agent Dark reporting in. Prepare to receive a download of the meeting data. Priority request for an Institute support team to protect the President before he goes to Alaska.
No time for that now, Agent Dark. There's been a development during radio silence. The craft carrying those Flens I was talking about was shot down over Nevada. The weapon responsible was found from Area 51. That's
Guess where we're going.
Debris will have been taken. You're to prep for immediate dispatch when you return here.
Now we talked about an Institute support team.
But what about the President?
The President has no idea who we are, and you will see that later. But for now, this has been Perfect Dark. Thanks for joining me. And next time, we're headed to Area 51, so get excited. There's gonna be aliens.